Okay, so everyone is back. What does that mean, assignment operator? So assignment operator means an assignment operator which assigns the value from the left to right. Okay, from left operand to the right operand. Cool. So I was talking about the comparison operator. Let's see the comparison operators in action. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll say comparison operator. Okay, sorry, comparison operator here, and I'll just say console dot here so that we have a clear console, and we should be able to see that in the console. Okay. Now basically what we are doing, we're comparing the operator. We'll be comparing the things, right? How do we do that? Let's do this. Let's say we have a equals to 10. Okay, a equals to 10, and we have b equals to 12. Okay, and now I would like to know console.log is a equals to b. So when I say equals to, basically what I'm checking whether those things are both equal or not. Is a equals to b? Is it equals to b? Right? So what will I get? False. Right? So whenever we work with the comparison operator, we get true or false, yes or no, right? That kind of a thing. So in this case, what I'm getting? I'm saying getting false. If I say console.log a not equals to, for not equals to I use exclamation sign and then assignment operator sign, equals to sign, basically it's not an assignment operator. A is not equals to b. A is not equals to b. True. It is not equals to b, right? So we are getting true. Now there is something special in JavaScript. Okay, what if I say console.log a is equals to 10? A is equals to 10. What do you think output will be? A is equals to 10. Yep, I am still using developer tools. So A is equals to 10. See, 10 is a string here. 10 is a string. A is a number. And I'm saying is 10 equals to 10. Now see what happens. We actually got true. Why? Because of the conversion. So what JavaScript did, it must have converted that. It must have converted this as a string, or it must have converted this 10 as a number, and they both were equal. Okay. What if you do not want that conversion? What if we do not want that conversion? For that purpose, here we will be getting true actually. For that, what we'll be doing, console.log a triple equals to. We will use triple equals to. Okay, and this is called strict comparison. Now we are doing strict comparison, and now if I compare it to 10, so what is it? I'm comparing a number with a string, which is wrong because it's a number and it's a string. We should not be comparing these two. And when I do that with the strict comparison, the output which I get is false. Okay, so whenever you do any sort of a comparison, it is always recommended in JavaScript that you do a strict comparison. Okay, similar to this thing also, right? What if I say we can have strict comparison here also? So instead of using not equals to, I can also use not equals to double equals to, basically. That is my strict comparison. Okay, so how do I do strict comparison? I can say either I'll use triple equals to or not equals to double times. Anyone has any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? What is strict comparison? Do you know that? Okay. Now let's talk about other things. Can I say console.log is a greater than b? Is a greater than b? Is a greater than b? True? False. Why? A is 10, b is 12. right? So we'll be getting false here, right? What if I say console.log, I'll say, okay, for not equals to का चाहिए, 1 minute, let me just think. So if I say 13 not equals to 13, 13 not equals to 13, what will be the output? 13 not equals to 13. So the output here will be false. However, it is actually true. It is actually true. 13 is a number and 13 is a string here. Okay. In order to make this work correctly, what do we need to use? Strict comparison, right? 13 not equals to double equals to, then what do we say? 13. In this particular case, what we will be getting? True. You see here? Here? Are you guys clear? Okay. That is like another example of it. Now, when I was talking about the greater one thing, right? Similarly, I could say console.log a less than b. Is a less than b? Is a less than b? True, right? It is less than b. Okay. Now, similar to this, let's say we have c equals to, or let's say a variable, let I say I equals to 10, and let j equals to 10. Both are 10, okay? And I say console.log I is greater than j. Is I greater than j? Is I greater than j? False. False. So we got a false here. But is I is greater than or equals to j? I is greater than equals to, either it is greater or equals to. Okay. So what did we get? True. If I say greater than equals to, what happens? We get true. If I change this condition, if I say I is less than equals to j, if I say I is less than equals to j, what will be the output? True. True only, right? Clear? So I hope you guys know about greater than equals to, you understood equals to, greater than, less than. Anyone has any doubt on the comparison operator? Okay, cool. Awesome. Perfect, perfect. Now we'll be talking about, so comparison to operator, I have already told you about this coercion, right? Strict. You be sure that you are using this. Sir, how 13 became string? No, so subtree, right? See what we do, right? For example, whenever I use something within double quote, that actually is treated as a string. That is treated as a string. So what I said here, in this particular case, I am saying 13. Got it, right? Okay, clear. ठीक है, ठीक है. मुकेश, अब लास्ट वाला मुझे क्या पता कौन सा लास्ट वाला है? मुकेश, टेल मी ना what it is. सर वो लास्ट वाला बताना वैसे थोड़ा ना होता है. अब बोलो को पहला वाला बता, मुझे क्या पता कौन पहला कौन लास्ट. मैं तो फ्लो में बताते जा रहा हूँ. 63? 63? Okay, line number 63. Okay. See what I'm saying. Take I is 10 and j. I'm saying I is greater than or equals to. See, we say I greater than. See, this is a greater than equals to. So either it is greater or equals to, then it's gonna be true. So I and j, obviously I is not greater than j, correct? However, I is equals to j, right? So that is why it is true. So console means, Anurag, whenever we are using console log in the code, we basically see our things into the console. That is the only, it's basically showing me the output. That is why we are using console. It is printing the things which we are doing. For example, if I close this console, now you tell me Now you tell me, I'm telling you I is equals to j is true. Okay, will you believe me? Like, will you believe me this thing that I is greater than equals to j is actually showing you the true? No, right? तुम तो वैसे मेरी बात नहीं मानते हो. तुम तो अगर मैं ऐसे बताऊंगा तो फिर और नहीं मानोगे, right? You will be like, where is the code? Show us where are the things. We want some business, right? That is what you will be saying. So where you will get that? The code is getting executed, and where is the output coming? The output is coming on the console, right? So that is why I'm saying, okay, I is greater than equals to j. See, this is what it is. True is coming. So then you are like, huh. So whatever this guy is saying, that makes sense. Mukesh is saying 57 and 58. See, 57, see what I said, Mukesh. I'm saying there are two types of comparison operator. One is like a normal comparison, in which what JavaScript does, it does coercion. It can do coercion. So I'm saying 13 is a number and 13 is a string. Okay. You remember in the previous session, I said it converts, JavaScript automatically converts things. So when we use normal operator, JavaScript will convert this thing and it will say 13 is actually equals to this 13. So what JavaScript can do internally, it might convert this 13 into a number or convert this 13 into a string. So it will say it is same. However, when you use strict comparison, see, this is strict comparison which has one more equals to. When we use strict comparison, at that time JavaScript will not do coercion. Okay, it will treat it as a 13 as a number and this 13 as a string, and you cannot compare a number with a string. That is why you are getting true, because 13 is not equals to 13. So Sabshi is more about it's more about, okay, so you're saying when to leave these spaces, right? It is more about when you write the code. Like for example, the things which should be together, okay, you should put them together. That's it, right? For example, if you see, right, the way I was writing code, it's not that I have strictly follow all those things, but say whenever I was talking about say one type of an operator, so I was keeping all those things together. Okay. uh, right now we haven't write much code, right? When we'll keep on writing more code, you will get an idea, okay, what all things should be together and when we should be putting a space and all those things. Okay, but the idea is what, see, space is for what? You want to make like for example, like if, when you write English, right, or any Hindi also, if you write, or whatever language you write, whenever you write, you have a paragraph. That means that is one thing which is related all together, then you take a space and then you put it. Correct? So essentially what you're doing, it becomes easy to read, right? If I put everything in one line, then it is hard to read. And the way you should be writing your code, and see, that is how people write their code in companies. Okay, at least the good developers, it is like reading a book. ऐसे कोड लिखा होता है that you could just simply read it and you'll know what is happening. Okay, easy to understand. Cool. And that is where the functions come into the picture. So we haven't talked about functions. When I will talk about functions, then you will see how the readability of the program changes. How the readability of program changes. Correct? So that is what we will do in the functions. When we'll talk about functions, we'll properly get into the functions. Okay. Then we have talked about two types of operators. Now we have another type of operator which is called which is called what? Logical operator. A logical operator is something which the people who are from IT will easily understand, and the people are from electronics may also be able to understand. Okay, and is used for and condition, and these two parallel bars, which is called or condition. Okay, which is called or condition. Clear? These are the two logical operators. Okay. Now, how do they work? Let's see. Because it is easy to explain these things by writing the code. I'll just say logical operators. Okay. And what I will do, console dot clear, clean everything. Now logical operator. If I say, I'll say let a equals to Okay, and L equals to 12, K equals to 10, L equals to this thing. Now if I ask you, okay, so and basically means both. And means both should be true. Okay, what I mean is, I will get it. Let's say we have something called result, and in result I'm saying k is greater than 5, and k is greater than 5 and L is less than 13. K is greater than 5 and L is less than 13. Is it true? Do you think that is the case? So let's take it like this. K is less than 5. So K is obviously less than, sorry, K is greater than 5. Yes, K is greater than 5. And L is less than 13. Correct? If this is the case, what will be the output? True. Yes, it is true. Okay. That means what happens in case of AND, two conditions are compared. That means two conditions are compared. These are the two conditions. Right? These are the two conditions. First, this got compared, this became true, and this became true. So that is why true. So what happens in the case of AND? True and true becomes true. Okay, or false and false equals to false, and true and false equals to false. And okay, now that's it. Okay, maybe like this also. False and true is also false. Okay, now see, now this is interesting. Okay, we can do something like this. I can do mm, 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 no, okay, let's not do that. Maybe 1 second, let me just think. I was just thinking. एक सेकंड सोचने तो पहले कि वो बताना है नहीं बताना है ही. Okay, one minute. I'm just trying one example, just thinking whether that will make some sense for you or not. Okay. Anurag is saying there is no logic in this thing. Okay. Okay. So okay, let's do this way, Anurag. Can you tell me? Okay, don't take it in a wrong way, but tell me if we are looking for a logic. See it. It is all logical. Okay, but to prove that thing to you, how do I ask you this thing? Okay, tell me this. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. Can you tell me that? Can you explain? So you agree, right? 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. You agree, Anurag? That 2 plus 2 is equals to 4? It is normal calculation, exactly, right? It is normal calculation. But I am asking how? Because it is not logical. It is not logical. It's a normal calculation. If I tell you this is actually normal calculation, that true and true is actually true, अगर दोनों बात सत्य हैं तो सत्य है, राइट? लॉजिकल, राइट? इफ बोथ आर ट्रू, that means the thing is true, right? You getting what I'm saying? So that is how it is. It is logical. It might not be logical for you, because I don't know why it is not logical for you, but it is how. That's what I'm trying to explain you, that true and true is actually true. And I can prove that thing again. I can prove, if you want me to prove it, I'll prove it like through the code. Console.log, I am telling you true and true. What will be the output? True. Can you see here? I'll tell you why it is false. Wait. Console.log and false. What did it come? False. Why? Because what does and say? And says both. And says both. Okay. So what you are saying, this is true, but this is not. So what and says no. That is what the and operator works like that way. And that is what I'm telling you. Now, how it is happening, that for that you need to know a little bit about, we have this thing called gates and all those things, right? Or if I talk about normal things, do you know about binary representation, right? So basically, I'm just, see, it's sometimes what happens, right? You need to believe certain things. Okay, tell me one thing. If you see this watch right now, okay, okay, what is the color of this? Can you tell me? Can you tell me the strap color? Brown. Now, what is brown? I mean, you told me it is a brown color. Okay, color. Now, what is color? Can you guys tell me what is a color? Acha, rang. What is rang? Property of belt. Okay, what is property? What is visuality? Right? You're getting what I'm saying? So at once what you need, so that is what I'm trying to tell you. The person who developed JavaScript, right? That person, basically what he did, and it is not that he did it, okay? It is the concept of your computer programming. Whenever you mix two things, which is a true and true, that becomes true, because you are saying and both has to be true, then only the thing will be true. That is what and means. Both have to be true, then only the thing can become true. That is why true and true is true. True and false, because one of the thing is false, that's why the entire thing is false. And both the things are false, that means it is false already. Okay, that is what I'm trying to tell you. I hope you got it. I don't know. I mean, I tried my best to explain you the things, but I mean, that is how it is. मतलब मेरा कहने का ये मतलब है कि at one point what you need to do, right? You have to be like, अच्छा, okay, this is how it is. That's it. That's it. Correct. Okay, so I was explaining you this. Okay, so let me just complete this thing just for the sake. If I say false and false, that will become false. You see here in the output. Console.log. Okay, and I say false, false, and true is also false. Okay, got it? I hope everyone got this thing. Okay. Now one thing is there, right? Now because and knows, right? Whenever you apply and, what does it mean? That first is true, then it looks for the second thing. See, if and knows that the first thing is not true, then there is no point of checking the second thing. So if I know this condition is false, the and will not even execute this condition. If first thing is false, then AND knows it's gonna be false only, right? So it will not execute this condition. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? If this thing is false, right, it will not execute this thing because the entire thing is false. Okay, so let's see this in example. I say if result is equals to, if k is less than 5, if k is less than 5 and I want to do some operation here. In that operation, what I want to do, I want to do L plus L plus L I'm saying. And if I say console dot log the value of L, okay, console log the value of L, the value of L came as 12. Okay, now what happened? This condition was false, so this code did not execute. This condition was false, so this code did not execute. If I change this a little bit, k, if k is greater than 5, this thing will become true, so it will execute this thing as well. Okay, now let's see this console.log what the result will be, and console.log what the L will be. Okay, save it. We got 13 and 13 back. Why? Because when this condition got executed, see, earlier whenever we were executing this condition, we were getting true, true, true back. Here this guy gave true, but this guy gave a number which is 13. But 13 is also what? True, correct? In Boolean, a number which is greater than 0 or not a 0 is basically true. So this became true, got assigned to result, it became 13, and we did plus 11. Sorry, plus L. So plus L became what? 12 became 13. So L is 13. Are you guys clear? Clear with this thing? Okay, now similar to AND, what does AND say? AND says both have to be true. Okay, why result is 13, Bhupender? The result is 13. Why? See, why the result is true, consider here. Why the result is true? So this thing gave me true and this thing gave me true. So that is why the answer was true, correct? In this particular case, what happened? This thing was false. So we did not even execute this code, so we got false. In this case, what happened? This execute, it gave me true. Okay, but after that, this code executed, which gave me 13. Right? That is what I'm saying. So this gave 13. So see, earlier what was happening? Here we were getting true. This thing was giving true, so that was getting assigned to result. In this particular case, it did not give me true, but gave me 13. So that is why that got assigned to result. This is an assignment operator, right? Got it? That is how it is. I hope it is clear, everyone. Now, similar to AND, right? AND says both need to be true in order to have a certain thing to be true, right? Similarly, you have something called OR operator. OR says if either of these are true, then I'm good. Either this or that, or. Okay. Now, if I need to write that thing, what does that mean is, it is like this. Take this thing. If I talk about or, it says if true or true, that is true. If false and false, if false or false, it is false. If true or false, it is gonna be true. Okay, and if it's false or true, it is gonna be true. That means if either of the thing is true, the outcome will be true. Okay, so what does it mean? So if I say console.log, if I say k is greater than 5 or L is what? 12, right? And L is less than 0, which is wrong, correct? I'll just do a console clear here, which is wrong. But what happens, you see, we got true. Why? Because one condition is true. So whenever we use OR condition, if either of the condition is true, it will be true. If either of the condition is true, it will be true. I hope you guys are getting it. Everyone? Okay. Now, similar to AND, right? What AND was doing, if something is false, if the first condition is false, AND will not execute the second one. The same thing for the OR. If the first one is true, it will not execute the second one, because if first one is true, that means OR will give it true, right? So if first condition is true, the second condition will also be true. No, no, no. If the first condition is true, so it doesn't matter what the second condition will be, because if first is true, the answer will be true. So it will not be executing that second condition. Got it? So for example, what I'm trying to say is, let's say result equals to, I say same thing. But in line 77, we wrote for 77, 77. अरे यहाँ and है ना boss. This is and. I'm talking about or, Rahul, right now. I'm talking about or. Okay. So what I was telling you about, say result, I say k is less than 5. Or say k is, so k is greater than 5. And I'm saying or plus L. Okay. And if I say console dot log this value, so the answer will be, you'll be surprised to see, where, let's see, you got true. So what happens? Some same thing. When I executed this condition, this became true. This condition was true. So the entire expression will be true. So it did not execute this code. So this code did not get executed. If, however, I use the same code and intentionally make this condition as false. So because this condition is false, it will also execute this code. Okay. And in this case, the result is coming as 14. Clear, Bhupender? Clear? Anyone has any doubt? Anurag, you're still there? Anurag, here? Can you ping on the chat? Acha, do one thing, Anurag. After the session, ping me on directly on the message in here itself. Okay, we have an option where you can directly ping me. I think you are having some doubt in certain things, right? Ping me on that. I'll try to clarify you after the session. Okay, I know it could be hard to digest why the things are happening. We'll see. We can do this thing. We'll try to make it easy. We have an option for direct message here. So here it's an option which I could see. So I could see who has pinged me directly. Like if at all you don't want your messages to be seen by other people, okay? Because at times what people do, right? People will start making fun of you. But see, it's a genuine question. Whatever you asked, वो मैंने मजाक किया. But the thing is that the thing you asked is not wrong. Okay, you are not getting it. So if you're not getting it, not a problem. I'll do my best to explain you in a different way. Okay. So we'll not skip it, but I cannot hold it also, right? I cannot hold that thing for everyone, because then everyone will be waiting. But after the session, I'll try to clarify that thing. Okay. I hope everyone is clear with the logical operators. Okay. There is no one who has an issue. Okay. Now after that, we have something called a bitwise operator. Now bitwise operator. Now, bitwise operator is the one which is being least used. It is something which is being least used. We use it very less. So these operators are like this. And see, remember we were using double and in the logical operator. In bitwise, we are using single and. Or, this is called or. It is a bitwise or. This is logical or. Logical and logical or. Bitwise and bitwise or. Okay. Then we have this, which is called XOR. This is XOR operator. Okay. If And then we have this, which is a tilde sign. This is your not operator. Okay. Then you have this left double arrows. It is called as left shift. And then you have double right, which is right shift. Okay. These are your right shift operator. Now what happens, right? This bitwise operator actually works on bit. It works on bit. So for example, what I will tell you now is, consider this. So when we say consider a number 4. Now 4 is a number. Do you know 4 is a decimal number? It's a decimal number. Okay. It's a decimal number. If I need to convert this 4 into a binary form, do you know about number system? We have binary number. We have decimal number. We can have hexadecimal number, right? So if I need to convert this 4 into binary, what it will be? We will have 0, 0, no. We will have 0 only. 0, 1. So this will be your binary number, right? This will be your binary number. Okay, this is your binary number for 4. Okay, now if I talk about 5, what is the binary number for 5? So the binary number for 5 is this. Okay, now these are the, so basically these operators which you have, they work on binary numbers. They work on binary numbers. For example, if I do AND of 4 and 5, what AND will do? Only when both are 1 1 it will give you 1, otherwise it will give 0. Okay, so 0 1 0, 0 0 0, 1 1 1, otherwise 0 0 0, everything is 0. So what is the number which came up? Is 4 only, right? So if I do a binary of this, let's see, if I do the bitwise operator, and I say console.log 4 and 5, the answer came as what? 4. Agree everyone? मैं कोई झूठ बोलिया? Clear, right? Okay, that is what your bitwise operators are. So bitwise operators are the one which works on your, so how can you convert, Bhupinder? Now, what is binary? See, my number system, I can't tell you the number system here, but let's try to do something, okay? Because 2, okay? 2 to the power 0. This is how the number increases. 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4, like that. Okay, that is how the number happens. That means this is 0, sorry, this is 1. 2 to the power 0 is actually 1. 2 to the power is 2. Okay, 2 to the power 2 is 4. 2 to the power 3 is 8. 2 to the power 4 is what? 16. 16. Correct. Now this means what? It means if I need to, by using these things, if I need to form a number, say if I need to form a number 4. So what does 4, if I need to make 4, so will it be, what it will be? 0, 0, 1, and 0 0, because this place is for what? 4. So this number became, this binary number became 4. If I need to make 5, so then 0 0 1 0 1. Why? This is for 4, this is for 1, 1, 4 plus 1 became 5. Okay, that is how you can relate to the binary numbers. Okay, that is how you can relate to the binary numbers. So this is what your binary thing is, right? Now similar to this, you have OR operator. Now what does OR does? If either of is 1, it will consider it as 1. So the same thing, if I apply, so this one is for the AND operator. If I apply the same thing with the OR operator, if I apply the same thing with OR operator, so what it will be? 0 1, it's gonna be 1. 0 0 0. 1 1, it's gonna be 1. Okay, and then 0 0 0 0, right? So that means I can say here, say 4 or 5 will give me 5. Can you see that? I did get the 5 number, right? And that is what we even see here. The number which came is actually 5. Okay, ideally you should be knowing that, Bhupinder, but even if you don't know, it is not end of the world. There are times when people may ask you, but again, I said bitwise operator is something which is the least used. Okay, but it is always good to know things, right? It is always better to know things, correct? So that's the thing. Similarly, you have these XOR operator. Now XOR operator is, I mean, Okay, the thing is actually, I was hoping that some of you might know this XOR operators and all, but yeah, fine. So if we have XOR operator, that works a little different. What XOR operator does, if both are same, then it consider that as zero. If both are not same, it consider as one. So if I say 0 1, both are different, so it will consider 1. 0 0, both are same, so it will consider it as 0. 1 or 1, it will consider them as 0. Okay, and these are 0 0, again same, so it will consider all of them as 0 0. So if I XOR the operators, XOR these things, console, because the thing is, right now I'm not telling you about programming as such, it is maths. Right now it is like maths, like it must be there in your school, right? So 4, we got 1, right? So we just need to know how to apply these operators. So these are our bitwise operator. Okay, everyone, cool? Can I get some yes or no on the chat? Not yes or no in the sense, I mean, whether you guys are clear or not. Cool. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, which is called string. Okay, which is called string. Now obviously you already know strings, right? Whenever in JavaScript we need to write any of the text to a variable, we basically use string. The way we can define string in JavaScript, we can do it is 3 ways. There are total 3 ways that we can define a string. Let's do that. What I will be doing here is, I'll be talking about string here. Okay, and what we'll be doing, console dot clear. Okay, let's say I'm writing a string. Let's call that as var str is my string. One way you already know, I can use double quotes, right? Double quotes, and write the text. This is my string. This is my string. Console.log str, and I see this is my string. This is one way. I could also do this str equals to single quote. Instead of using double quote, I can also use single quote, and I can say this is also my string. This is also my string. And if I do a console log of this str, so this is also my string. However, what you cannot do is mix both the things. That means you cannot mix like this. You started with a double quote, right? And you said this is, and then you're closing it with single quote. This is an error. See, you see some error, redness is there. So it is an error. Even if I save this, you see I'm getting some error. It says something invalid is there. So you either use double quotes or you can use single quotes. And one more thing, you can use these quotes within it. How? For example, if you're using double quotes, okay, and within that you can say this is also my, instead of I, you can put these things. Right? You see what is happening. This is how you can do it. You can put that thing within that. Okay, but you cannot have mix and match. Clear, everyone? Similar to this, I could also do this, but I cannot do a mix and match. You see here, double quotes is coming here. No, no, no. Ashutosh, str is a variable. Str is a variable here, right? Var is a variable. So str is variable which is holding the value of the string, which is holding the value. This is my string, so which is the value. Okay, everyone, clear? Cool, cool. Okay, so this is what. Now there is another way which you could do it. Okay, in string, you could say you can use backtick. So you see backtick, I've used a backtick. With backtick, what happens, right? You can write string in multiple lines. For example, here if I write things in multiple lines, see, and I'm writing it here, see, some error is coming, right? I cannot do this. I cannot do this. If I need to use multi-lines, if I need to write string in multiple lines, there are 2 ways. One way is I'll write the string like this, hello. Then I have to use a slash, then enter, slash enter. This will become a multi-line. Multi-line. Okay. And then I will again use a slash. Okay. and this will become my multi-line string. Console dot. If you need to write a string in multiple lines, this is one way. So this will become my multi-line string. Okay. The other way is you can use backtick. You just write backtick, and within this backtick you can write the string. So for example, I can say this is also my multi-line string. Okay? And if I do a console log of this string, here I see this is also my multi-line string. Agree? Now, one more thing which you could do with this backtick wala thing, right? We call it as first thing. We call this thing as template literal. This syntax of writing is called as template literal. Okay. Now, what we can also do inside is we can also use variable. For example, you have a variable which is where o equals to, or say where age equals to 56. Okay, and you are saying his age is this age variable, whatever that age variable is. His age is this age. If I do this, it comes his age is age. No, I want age variable value here. For that, what you do, you use a dollar, a bracket, and a bracket. Once you do that, what will happen? Instead of putting the age as a literal, we call it as a literal. When something come as it is, that is being called as literal, right? How it was coming here, age, which was literal. Now what I want is the value of age coming here. If now I run this code, see what do I get is 56. So what happened? JavaScript took the value of variable age and put it here. Okay. Saptarshi, right now you must be thinking that you need to remember all of these things. The answer is yes. But the thing is, when you keep on writing code, you will just remember it. You will just remember it. That's the thing. I mean, it is not something that you have to have a notes and remember. Okay. The more you will write, the more you will understand. Okay. So this is one way. The other way also with string is that when we say string equals to, say, I say hello, or I can say his age is, I could also do plus. The plus means concatenation, joining two things. In string, we join two things because we cannot do arithmetic plus, right? In this case, the plus means joining two things. So now if I say plus age, right? And if I say console log str, right? What do I get? I get same thing. But you see here, his age is, there is no space between that, right? Why? Because this thing just joined with it. If I want a space, what I can do, I can just give a space here, right? And this works. I hope it is clear. Everyone? Clear? Right? Now say we have, now how do you work around with a string? So we know how to define string and everything. How do we work around a string? Now consider we have another variable. Let name equals to say Neeraj. Say Neeraj kai ko rakhna. Let's take the name as Mr. Bhupinder. Bhupinder Hudda. Bhupinder. Okay. So we have Bhupinder. Now this is our entire name, right? Now what if I would like to access only a part of it? So this is my entire string. How do I access a part of it? So what I'm trying to tell you is, let's see this. So we have this string, right? Bhupinder, right? This is a string. Now what happens in string, right? Backtick a symbol, you have it, Rahul, just below your escape character, right? You have escape character on the top, the first character, first button on your keyboard, just below that. Acha, what I was telling you about the string, right? This is a string. So how does the string is allocated, right? So basically what happens in your memory, right? Consider this is your memory, your computer memory. What will happen? So if you're writing a string, some memory will get blocked. Some memory will get blocked there and the thing will stored there. Okay. See what is happening. This first character B will be at the position 0 will be at the position 0. Then H will be at position 1, U will be 2, P will be 3, I will be 4, N will be 5, D will be 6, E will be 7, R will be 8. So these numbers which I'm talking about, these are called as index. These are called as index. Okay. And the indexes, okay, the indexes in programming start from 0. Like a normal thing, usually, like in a day-to-day things, whenever you do, the numbers start with 1, right? However, here the index start with 0. So if from this name I need to access just B, that means the first character, I will be using this 0 index. If I need to access H, I will be using this first index. If I need to access U, it will be second index. Okay, so it starts from 0. Now let's try to do this. Let's try to do this thing. What I'll be doing again is I will just clear the console one more time. Console is clear. Now what I'm going to be doing is I will say console.log. I would like to access B, just B character. B character. So what I can do, I can say name, then I have to use a bracket, square bracket. Okay, now which index I would like to access? 0, right? 0. And if I save this, see what I got? B. Okay, what if I'd like to access H? That will be on the position 1 now. So 1, we got H. Then second, U. Here, everyone. Now one more thing is, okay, okay. I'll just complete this one more thing, and then we'll close the session. One more thing is the string which you write, correct? You cannot change. You cannot change just part of it. So backtick Ashutosh is another way of writing things, right? As I said, there are multiple ways that you can write a string. You can also write through the backtick. With backtick, it is a lot more easier, right? Obviously, see, I don't need to use this plus age karke. I could just simply use age. Like say, if I need to use any other variable, I don't need to do a append of it, right? I don't need to plus and add that variable. So this becomes a lot more easier to write. So that is why people use this template literal. That can be used again. It depends on the scenarios when you will be working on things. Okay, so if you are Bhupinder, if you're starting counting from back, so you will be counting what? 5 4 3 2 1 0, not like 0 1 2 3 from what? Okay, counting will always start from the 0 from the top, from the front. One more thing, the string which you write, for example, if you have written name Bhupinder, you cannot change just P. I mean, like you cannot do something like this. You cannot do like name in 0, instead of Bhupinder, you want Bhupinder. If you do this, that is something you cannot do, because now if you do this and you just console log the name, you're still getting Bhupinder. See, it did not give you an error, but this did not work also. And that is why we say string is immutable. That means it cannot be changed. String is immutable. So what you were trying to do is, you were trying to do on 0th index, you would like to access A. No, Nasim. So there is no negative index. So for example, if you say negative index, for example, if you say -1, you will actually get an error. Let's see. We actually got an undefined because there is no -1. It is always start with 0 and it will go maximum to what? The length -1. Why length -1? Because we are starting from the 0. So for example, if Bhupinder is there, right? 0. So total, what is the length of Bhupinder name? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So total letters is 9. Total letters are 9. But what is the last index? The last index is going to be 8. Why it's going to be 8? Because we are starting with 0. We are starting with 0, then obviously it's going to be 8, right? It cannot be 9. So this is what we have about string. There are a couple of more things which we have in string, which is about, if you remember what we were discussing, like what was our agenda. So we had to talk about some string properties also. Today we don't have much time for that. I'll be covering that stuff tomorrow. Okay, I'll be covering that stuff. Not, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Friday, right? So tomorrow